Alright, so I was sitting here staring at the cars, and I was just wondering, like, they look too different. And one of the reasons why is because my car has that huge wing on it. So I took it off. Now there's a better view, I guess you could say, of how similar the cars are or how not similar they are. But I mean, really, the bumper almost looks like it's the same size as the old generation. Like, even the trunk, even the taillights are just wider as opposed to longer, but the bumper looks just as big. It's just because of that the reflector was bigger and this is like kind of skinnier, maybe, I don't know, but the bumpers look just as big as before. So I don't know, this just looks weird now. It's hard to take this in without the huge trunk wing. Alright, so I went to Taco Bell to get some lunch, and then I found this, I don't know, bum. Hello. On the side of the road, and he was driving this pretty cool car, and I was like, hey, you want to drive my pretty cool car somewhere? And he said yeah. So I'm driving the loaner, he's driving my car. We're gonna go to the woods that are like, I don't know, 10 blocks that way, and then I'm just gonna film a little differences video. He gave me an idea about like showing the old wheel versus a new wheel side by side, so that could wait till we get back. But yeah, we're gonna head out. I got the GoPro strapped on my car just so I could get some rolling footage of the new car, and then when we come back, I'm gonna put it on the Gen 2, and then I'm gonna let him do a couple pops, just a couple, maybe like one or two, and that way I could get that on video. All right, so we made it to the woods. There's a couple more cars here than I thought there was gonna be, but whatever. It's quieter than being in front of my house. All right, so we have them side by side, and then we'll just do basically some comparisons from the back towards the front. In the back is mainly the biggest change. So you have the difference in taillights. The hatch is actually around the same size as the old hatch. I took the wing off, and basically they looked almost the same. The new generation doesn't have the input part to pop the trunk. It's now on the back wiper. The diffuser is different. It's now all the way on the bottom, and it's straight across, as opposed to going I focused on my finger there. As opposed to going straight down and then back up. No more fake exhaust bezels. We now have a real exhaust tips. And then as far as under the car, we have independent rear suspension. I don't know how well you can see, but there we have the bucket. So now you have adjustment in caster, camber, all that good stuff. The rear reflectors are different. I have a reflector delete, and it's just mesh. So I'm pretty sure eventually people will do that with the new car. The wing now has like a little down part to it instead of just being flat straight across. I don't know where it's. Duckbill. Yeah, it's like a duckbill. It still spits out the water down here to clean the wipers. Pop that trunk. So the new generation doesn't have the top glass anymore. So it's a shorter hatch, as opposed to this one where it has the glass. And it's just overall much taller, sits much higher. That one is so light, you pop it and it just literally wants to go up. I don't remember how this one was because I have
like a Camaro trunk or a Mustang trunk.
Yeah.
It's a little short style.
Yeah. I don't remember if this is heavy or light because I've had the wing on here for so long. But that's pretty much it. Because there's no glass in the back, the antenna could sit so much farther back, and then that gives the huge sunroof more room to go back in. It slouches more from like the center of the driver door back. It just slouches a lot more. And I don't have a sunroof because this was the base. Mirrors are a lot skinnier. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's just one thing different that you notice. Side skirts are like a flat gray, really. It's like a plastic sheen to it. And then these are the old side skirts. Alright, now we're in the front of the cars. The old generation has these fake hood vents, which I really liked. But now there's no fake hood vents anymore. And instead you have like this indentation on both sides. Which looks better. To me. Yeah. New grill. I really like this grill, but I also hated it because when I dip cars, it was always just hard to mask it off. And
this is a super sexy detail right here. It's kind of chiseling going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of little details in this car that just you don't notice it, but they make the car look so much better because of it. I like the new grill more now than the old grill. And then we also have this huge Hyundai logo up front, but the reason behind this is there's sensors behind it. So it's hiding the sensors. It's like the forward collision sensor. And there's also a camera in the front right there. So that's for lane assist and other things. Headlights are different. They no longer come all the way back. They cut off pretty short. They're a lot smaller. You could change your bulbs now without having to take apart your front end, unless you had really small hands, so that's a plus. No more fog lights. So that's first generation versus second generation. Instead, now we have this fake honeycomb insert, I guess, and then we have the functional vent up front. Then we also have this OEM front splitter. And then we have this anodized finish front touch to it, which is nice on the red. I think it's still red on any color you get, so it just fits in with red more. Interior wise, the back seats look exactly the same. So here's the first generation black leather interior seats. Ignore that because that's aftermarket.
I'm not gonna do it, you do it.
And then here's the second generation. So pretty much the same. I think it's exactly the same. Like you even have the speaker over there and the insert for, you know, someone to hold on to. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same. So it doesn't look any different in the back. And then in the front, there's a lot of little touches they did that I really like the vents. I really like the shape of the vents. Like, I like how they go straight across all the way. So the vents are really cool. It's a nice touch. They have like this checkered flag here. Seats are supposedly bigger. Yeah, so we think the seats are bigger. Pretty sure they are. Everything about the interior center console area is different. We have a different steering wheel, which we'll compare side by side when we get back to the garage. Heads up display. The infotainment system is different. A lot of people hated it because it's kind of just, it looks like a tablet that was just thrown on there. But the actual interface is really good. It's probably one of the best ones I've messed with.
I'd argue that it looks better because it makes the dashboard look less focused around it. So you have this real sleek dashboard with these real nice vents, real clean lines.
Yeah.
And that way the screen doesn't, you know, you don't have to form it around the screen.
Like with my car.
Right. When you go to your car, it almost looks a little cheesy.
So we'll look at that when we go over there. And then you just have kind of shortcut buttons, so you don't have to mess with the touchscreen. You got radio, and this one you could program to whatever you want. Media, map, navigation, setup, radio, volume dial, climate control. And then you have the wireless charging here. You have a USB charging station, USB for Apple CarPlay or Android CarPlay, whatever it is. Aux. This is a light to tell you that the wireless charging is working. And then one cigarette lighter plug. I don't like that. I like cars that have at least two, but whatever. And then down here you have heated seats, traction control, drive mode. You have smart, normal, and sport. Glove box is whatever. It's just a little glove box. Nothing special.
Oh, it is small.
And then sunglasses holder, sunroof, lights. So that's pretty much it for this car. Now we're gonna go to the first generation.
I found the one difference in the back seat.
Is that really?
Besides the detail of the seats themselves.
What?
Your main difference is your little center console there. The plastic actually separates the two seats.
Really?
On this one you have the leather wrapping around it on both sides. On that one it actually breaks up, so it's actually two separate seats, whereas this is almost like a bench.
Okay.
Super tiny little detail, but it exists.
That's not gonna focus. Alright, so at the end there, this is all one piece. Versus here,
it's encapsulated in the leather.
Ow. The leather goes around it. So with the other one, this plastic goes up all the way, and with this one, the leather goes around. So that's, I guess there is a difference there. Oh, also, the back seat here has this netting, and they don't have it on the new one. So there's no netting there. So I guess there's a couple differences with the seats.
Oh, and I can fit in the new back seats.
Oh yeah, and he could fit in the back of this one. He can't fit.
Not so much this one.
Yeah. Alright, so up front, like he was saying, so everything has to be centered around the, or fixated around the center console because it's built into itself, kind of. So like the vents are designed around the touchscreen, which I like. Alright, so on the inside, the difference with the door card is it no longer has a like kind of weird handle to pull the car shut, the door shut. That, so it's more of a normal style door card versus that thing. I always liked this, but it was kind of annoying to like rest your. Yeah, it's kind of weird to like rest your hand on it. And yeah, the interior is just way different between the first and second gen. So yeah, that's it. Alright, so this time he's taking the lead. I want to hear, I haven't heard my car backfire not being in the car, so I just want to hear. I told him he could do it a couple times, and I got the GoPro going, so. Alright, I don't think he really got the idea on how to do it, because I think he's just being respectful and kind of short shifting it, because he's not getting any pops out of it. He's gotten like 2 or 3, but he hasn't gotten any of the big ones. So alright, I told him to rev it up to like 3.5, so let's see what he does. Alright, so this is a comparison of the old wheel right there versus the new wheel. I hated this wheel. This wheel was on the car for maybe 2-4 months until I got rid of it. I changed it for one of the first flat bottom D style steering wheels from SoCal. It was like one of the very first ones before he had all the crazy options in like carbon fiber. And then I went to the quick release that I have now. But here's a new one. I like it a lot better. It has kind of like, it's like it goes in here and then it comes back out, and the leather feels better. Julian's car is finally starting to settle, and it looks so damn good. Alright, so I'm editing this video right now, and I realized that I didn't close it out. So that was basically a comparison video between the first generation and the second generation. There was nothing left untouched. Basically everything in the car is touched, it's new, it's refreshed. The only similarities maybe are the back seats, and even that was kind of touched, and the mirror maybe. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is different. The reason why I didn't compare the engine is because it's the same engine still. But I'll show you guys it right now. The only difference is that engine cover. It's a lot skinnier now and wider. Oh, also, Hyundai must have cut corners everywhere they could, so you no longer have hood shocks. You have the prop. So, but yeah, it's basically the same engine. The only difference is the coolant tank is updated, I believe. The engine cover. And pretty much it. So yeah, so that's the end of the video. We're about to take off for our trip to Ohio. Bye.